There's been a lot of news on Manchester United signing a new striker, and the two guys in the race right now are Watkins and Sesko. We're gonna see how both of those transfer rumors develop, because we're not getting Isak. Isak wants to go to Liverpool. He can stay at Newcastle where he's comfortable, or he can go to Al Hilal. I know he said no to it, but he could go to Al Hilal and earn 600k a week, go to Liverpool, or stay at Newcastle. He's not coming to United. So our options right now really are, and also what's his name? Victor Osimhen is going to stay at Galatasaray, it seems. So our options right now really are Watkins and Sesko. The rumors are. Now, my caveat to all of this is we need to fix the midfield problem first. And please bear in mind the fact that I said fix the midfield problem and not just sign a midfielder. We can sign any midfielder. Not any midfielder, but we can sign a midfielder. That's not going to solve our problems. We've signed Casemiro, we've signed Ugarte, we've developed Kobe Mainoo, and the midfield problems are still there. We have Mason Mount, we got Bruno Fernandes, and Fernandes is performing. We have midfielders. It's just the system does not work. The system does not work. So there's two options here. Either go and find someone who can fix the system, on option number 2, which I believe is my favorite option, which is try and figure out how to really fix this problem. And the problem is quite simple. It's the balance. I feel like the main problem with this midfield is the balance, and how we're going to balance out having CDM and the cam, or two cams, which is not going to work, or two center midfielders, or CDM. There's so many options, but the balance is just not quite right, because whatever you do, you're going to be lacking in one position. And I've, on my Amorim video, I kind of talked about this a bit more, but the simple fact is the combinations we have right now will not work. But Amorim can adapt the system. But at the same time, there's no point on us going to sign a midfielder if the problem is not addressed. And even as I'm saying this, you can sign another midfielder, but first you need to define the problem, or you define the problem, don't sign a midfielder, and fix the problem internally. However, the main point of this video is striker rumors. Great, let's get a striker in. However, before we even begin to think about getting a striker, we must address this midfield problem. I believe our defense can be solid this season if Lisandro Martinez stays injury-free. If Onana stops being Onana's injured, so forget that. But if Martinez stays fit this season, De Ligt, Lenny Euro, then you've got Dorgu and Diego Leon, then you've got Dalot and Mazraoui, you've got Shaw coming back into this team. We've got good defensive depth. We've got Bruno Fernandes and Mbeumo, Cunha, fingers crossed, Zexi and Højlund are better this season. The midfield is where I can't really see a solution at the minute because of the balance. The balance in our midfield is awful. In this 3-4-3 formation, at least, the balance is awful. And even if you go to a 4-3-2 or 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, the problem is the same, because you can have Ugarte and Kobe Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes, which is an option, but you still need a bit more depth, because Casemiro, we won't know what he will look like this season. So the midfield is such a black hole at the minute, where we haven't really identified a clear target to go and sign, and we haven't really identified what the solution is going to be. Ruben Amorim just said on our first preseason game that our midfield is very slow, we need more pace. What does more pace mean? What does giving this midfield more pace mean? What does that player look like? What does that look like in a system perspective? This is why I say all these striker rumors, they're great. I love talking about strikers. I love talking about goals, because at the end of the day, that's what matters, and that's what we lacked last season. But I believe that Cunha and Mbeumo are really going to help with that. And the most important thing right now, after getting those two wingers, because we're also going to get rid of 4 players in Rashford, Sancho, Antony, and Garnacho, what are we going to do about our midfield problem? Again, we can sign a striker. I'm not mad about that, but we need to address the midfield problem, and we need to find a way to, once again, give balance to this midfield. Because if we get the midfield right, I believe it's going to unlock the whole team. There's a lot of potential on this team. The players have a lot of potential. The young players that are coming through the academy, Ruben Amorim as a coach, there's a lot of potential. But to unlock that potential, we need to fix our balance problem first. And that's kind of I kind of said my piece now. Guys, as per usual, I appreciate the support. The channel has been doing a lot better since we started talking about Manchester United. Really appreciate you guys. Shout out to Frederick as well. Frederick, you're always in the comment section. I appreciate you, my friend. And yeah, this is it. As per usual, I'll see you guys soon.